What the fuck CCW stand for? Cowboy. What that shit stand for? Anybody know CCW? Whoever outside the snake can tell me what CCW stand for, I got something for ya. What's that CCW standing for? Alright, we in week 4 as we slide through. Just so y'all know, week 4, we're out of week 3, so let's follow me, man. Follow me through the motherfucking league. Gotta leave it here for those that dangerous. Ain't you many that could bang with us? Straight up, we know Angel Dust. I could do that whole verse without the straight up, you know, Angel Dust. Label us notorious. Stuck that nigga that love the bunch. You screaming at us, y'all niggas be scrambling, gambling, and violence. We just sitting here trying to win, trying not to sin. Hard weed and lots of gin. So much smoke need oxygen. Strictly counting on Benjamins. Nigga, you should too if you knew what this game would do to you. Been in this game since '92. Look all the bullshit I've been through. So-called beef with you know who. Stars are true. Man, not to be fucked with. Alright, let's get to it, man. The number 1 team in the league right now as you go through the real draft standings. Here we go. Broncos sitting at 3-0. 101 points scored, 63 given up. Buccaneers right behind them at 3-0. 140 points scored, 40 given up. Right behind them, 3 on the list right now is the Baltimore Ravens, 3-0. 139 points, 48 given up. Giants are number 4, the Super Bowl champs, sitting there at 3-0. Number 4 in the league right now. At 5, the Buffalo Bills, 3-0. Then we stop the undefeated teams. So we got 5 undefeated teams in the league right now, and we continue to go down the list and finish the next 5. We got the Chargers sitting at number 6 at 2-1. So is the Vikings, 7-1. Just took a loss to the football team. Big type of game going over there. The Lions are starting to play. 2 wins in a row after losing their first game. They're number 8 on the list at 2-1. And here goes the Saints. The Saints are sitting at 2-1 as well right now, and they broke a record. I told you, when he get a receiver that he feel like playing with, he can do whatever the fuck he want with that receiver. Now, I was in chat like, who the fuck let him catch 25 passes on him? And I thought somebody in the chat played him and all that. So I was like, nah, it wasn't me. I ain't letting them do that shit on me, this and that. And in my head, I'm like, it's damn near do it on anybody you want to do it on to because I watched him do it before. So, just get familiar with this name, Bo Melton. Yes, one of the fastest 40 times in the combine. That kid's from New Jersey. That kid plays in Rutgers. And he caught 25 passes against the Falcons. So, against the Seahawks. Sorry, not the Falcons, Seahawks. But even with that being said, at the number 10 spot is my most improved team from last year, the Seahawks, sitting at 2-1 right now, man. 91 points scored, 98. They 2-1 and they gave up more points than they scored. All right, honorable mention. Outside looking in, the top 15, you got the Eagles sitting at 11, 2-1, lost their first game to the Lions. The football team is back. They lost their game to the Bengals. They are 2-1. The Colts are sitting here at 13. Mike is back 2-1, and then the Cardinals are 14, 2-1, and there goes Nano and those Patriots sitting at 2-1. They be the top 15 in the league right now. We go through the divisions and we look at right now. The Browns are in second place, Bengals are in third, Steelers are in fourth at 1-2. In the AFC South, you're looking at the Colts sitting at first place right now, 2-1. Jaguars sitting at 1-2. Titans are 1-2, and the Texans are not around right now. They're 0-3. No, it's the same story, but that guy's out there. Salute to him. He's holding shit down for us in this little baby war against Russia. All right, AFC East, you got the Bills sitting at 3-1. And the 3-0 Patriots are 2-1. They only lost was to the Bills. The Jets is back playing. He's 1-2. And the Dolphins starting Derek King right now. They're going through a quarterback transition. Believe me, I would not be worried if I'm young Camden at all. I wouldn't be worried at all. Starting a new quarterback, got to get that shit going over there with him. It's not easy to bring in a new quarterback after you got hot with the quarterback you had. And you make that decision to make that switch, you got to better stick with it. I would say this, at least he got the balls to do it. You know what I'm saying? Some guys ain't going to do it right away. This guy said, I'm not taking that route where I'm redshirting my quarterback for a year and all that. Even though I got a dog who's proven, who's been a Pro Bowl quarterback the entire time I had the guy, I'm not waiting. We going in a different direction, and our direction is Derek King, and we going to ride out with it. And I think that's the only reason why they're sitting here at 0-3. I do not think these guys will not have a playoff record before it's all said and done. I do think they'll turn it around. But there's a big if, you know, they got to get it going. It depends on what they're going to do. Do you continue to ride it out with Derek King and get through it now? Because it's a long, man, listen, bro, we playing football in this league until the summertime. So you have a long time to get shit together. So what's wrong with a season of going through, you know, the hardship just to be able to get to the you know, the pot at the end of the rainbow type shit, you know what I mean? So I like, you know, where the Dolphins are at. I wish they didn't start off 0-3. Most people wouldn't even better, you know, sit here and be in a situation that I think is comfortable. Play really good teams. I mean, you start off with the Bills, then the Ravens, then you got to play the Patriots, 2 divisional games, and one of the better teams in the AFC, and the Ravens, right? Yeah, so that's not that easy to do. I'm not mad at him. I think the schedule will ease it up for him. In the AFC West, you're looking at the Broncos sitting at 3-1. The Chargers are back playing football. Corey's back 2-1. The Chiefs is 2-1. My cousin Tata in the building, and he's active. He ain't gonna play all these games, but he's active. And then the Raiders are sitting at 0-3 right now. 2 years removed from their playoff run. They're back at 0-3 right now. Let's see how this plays out right now. I mean, again, got to continue to develop. Remember, he's young in the league. It's his first time playing franchise mode. He's like the Seahawks. Definitely his first time playing franchise mode. So he got a lot to learn, a lot to catch up to. So, you know, with seeing some high success, I think success is around the corner for this coach. So we're not worried too much about them. NFC North is super active. Everybody's playing right now. The Vikings are on top of this division, 2-1. Lions are 2-1. Packers are 1-2, and the Bears are sitting at 0-3 right now. Hey, man, when your division is active and you don't get a free 6 still games right now, you got to play. Had you out here cheating and shit. You know what I'm talking about? You got to cheat and shit to win. The Bears got called out on a fucking cheat. Took the first loss. But, bitch. NFC South, we're looking at the Bucs sitting at 3-0. The Saints is back to 2-1 right now on a 2-game winning streak. The Panthers are 1-2. Falcons are 0-3. Falcons had a hell of a combine. The players he drafted, damn near every last one of them went up. I mean, he also drafted a linebacker that ran a 4.37. So you're looking at one of the fastest linebackers to come out on a game. Adolphe Owe had that record in 2021. We come back to this draft class now, and we got a guy that comes out faster than him. So shout out to the Falcons because he had about 3 or 4 players that all have great combines that went up in speed, acceleration, and play. So shout out to him. Now let's turn it around, man. We're tired of you losing games. Start winning some games over here. Get it together. What's up, buddy? The Super Bowl defending champions are sitting at 3-0. Playing really tight games though. Scored 131 points, 91 around. I just want to give him a shout out because he playing my cousin Pooh. You know what I mean? Parkside, stand the fuck up. P. Dot in the building, nigga. P. Dot in the building. You heard? He over there shitting for the Giants. I just wanted him to go somewhere that would be where he'll be used. I thought sending him to Max would be a situation where not only will he be used and his name can go along as long as I'm playing the game and shit, you know. I'm a gamer now. I play the video game. You know, everything I do is through this game. You know, everything, business, everything I do is through this game. So I'm gonna hold his name down there because I'm not out there anymore, really. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not out in, you know, the lane that I used to be in and doing things. So I can't celebrate him that way. I gotta celebrate him how I want to and what I do. So right now, Max is holding him down for me, and I appreciate that. Make sure he keeps shitting. The Eagles are 2-1, man. Darren Thomas is for real. That's all I'm gonna say. He's for real. Doolittle threw 5 touchdowns against the Vikings. Right before advance, they 2-1. And our Cowboys, man, the CCWs that nobody know, and he ain't gonna tell you. So therefore, you ain't gonna better get that little handout I was gonna give you because I don't even know. If I don't know, you ain't gonna know. So therefore, nobody's getting that handout. But the CCW team is 0-3 right now. My question about this 0-3 is one thing. Is it Sidney Cate? That's all I'm going to say. See, Sidney Cate came from the Falcons, right? And when he came from the Falcons, he was just happy to be away from the Falcons. And he came to a team that had a winning record, playoff team. So he came over and he had a hell of it. But then the league caught up to his ass, and is he reverting back to Falcon football? And if that's the case, then he in a situation where he might need a quarterback. And at the end, you know, quiet as kept, they was looking for Derrick King in that draft. And the Dolphins was just a step ahead of him. You know, you play the waiting game, man. Ain't nobody gonna get him. I can get him later on. I can get him next round. I can get him next round. Then that next round come, you think you can get him next round. Boop, somebody got his ass. Torture. NFC West playing. All right, Seahawks is 2-1 on top of this division. Yes, I said that. The Seahawks is 2-1 on top of this division. Falcons was making them picks fast as shit too. Yes, he was. Cardinals are sitting at 2-1. 49ers 1-2. Rams are 0-3 right now. W division, that's what's going on around the league as far as standings right now and who's, you know, early on top of their divisions and who's playing. I think everybody knocking their games out for the most part, so that's something to feel good about. We got guys doing a lot of shit right now. Now, you know, it's early on. People are finishing, you know, still filling out their teams, trying to fill out what's going on right now. I'm going to the diaper dandy conversation and who had the off seasons and, you know, if they did pretty good or if they didn't. So we're going to go back to that right now, like flat out right now. And I left out of here, and when I left out of here, I stopped at the Dolphins. So we're going to go right back to that, and we're going to continue to look at the teams and how they developed and what they did in the off season to be able to come into this season, this year, and pitch the product that they, you know, bought and paid for and did all the things they had to do to get to this team, drafted, all that shit. See what that product is done, if they selling or buying, you know what I'm saying? So let's get to the Dolphins, see if they selling or buying right now. Let's look at their roster right now. So I'll ask the question that nobody else wants to ask. You know, Dan Marino being 27 years old, Dan Marino having a stellar season. He's been having season after season after season. Dan Marino had this Dolphins team in a situation where they were chasing the moment to get back to a Super Bowl like they did in year one without him. They haven't been able to do it, but they've been a consistent team. Consistent wins, consistent playoff runs, consistent top fives with his quarterback play. He's been one of the better quarterbacks in the league. Did Dan Marino do anything to lose his job outside of the coach wanting to go in a different direction, right? That's all it is. The coach wanting to go in a different direction. Then you ask yourself, is it the right direction? I'll say this. Not everybody can make a change like that and still play at a high level, right? Right away, especially when you plan a tough schedule. I don't think the Dolphins is one of those guys that can make the change and he's just going to struggle all year long. I just think he's in a situation where he made the change, and his schedule was brutal in the beginning, right? So you got to deal with that for right now. but I don't know if I think this is the right move. I'm not mad at the move. What I mean by right move, I'm not mad at the draft pick. Definitely pick the kid because you didn't have to get him at a first or second round pick, I don't think. See when Derek King came out real fast while I conversate with my brungeons. When did my boy go get this motherfucker quarterback, man? Sometimes it's just best to get a Madden player, right? Fourth round, pick 24, not expensive. You can sit back. If it doesn't work out, you ain't spend a high draft pick on him, so it really doesn't matter, right? So that's how I would sit back and look at it. I don't think he's in a bad situation. Now, should he have started this quarterback? Give me a second. This is one of our coaches from the league. What up, B? Okay. Uh-huh. He not sure. He not. They don't have him up there as the starting quarterback. All right. Are you in the game right now? You're gonna have to finish that game. When you get out of that game, we'll get on headset and I'll show you how to fix it. All right, my boy. All right. A good commissioner's work is never done. That's all I'm gonna say. You fuckers don't appreciate shit I do, but I get everybody ass to kiss when I don't do what they want me to do, right? Boy, sometimes I feel like a bitch ass nigga on this game. I tell you. Oh my God, Rob, I just want to know, did the Dolphins at this point sitting at 0-3 make the right decision with starting the quarterback, coming from a guy who played their quarterback right away?
I mean, I'm gonna say he made the right decision because I did the same thing and it worked out in my advantage. But you can't really fold him. Like, you gotta look at who he played. He played some dogs.
Right.
So it's gonna get better, man. Believe me, it's a struggle, man. But you gotta fight through this, man. You'll be straight.
I think here's why I like the move now, right? Here's why I like the move now. First of all, I don't remember making him a superstar. Young Camden, was he a superstar when you drafted him, or did you play him into that superstar role already? Let me know. Did he come with that superstar? I probably did give him that superstar because of who he is. But let me know. I don't want to take nothing away from you. You might have earned that shit too, because you did put him in the fire right away. I'm gonna say this. I'm not mad at it because I don't think he was super SD or superstar. All right, he already came out. All right, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna agree with you, Rob. And what I'm gonna say is, I think if he didn't have this tough schedule, we wouldn't be having the same thought process of did he make the right decision, right? I think if he didn't play the type of teams he had to play early on like this, I don't see his record being 0-3, and then we not talking about this is a bad move, right? So I'm going to stick with that, and I'm going to say this is nowhere near a bad move. In fact, this is one of the most intelligent moves we've seen since the Eagles did it. And I'm going to just say that now because you're going to take your lumps right now with this quarterback. And if you continue this pace with this quarterback and you allow him to completely play your system, right? Don't play outside your system. What I mean is, the same way you play with Dan Marino, you play with Derek King. I know Derek King can run the football. He's 92 speed, 92 excel. Man has changed the direction, 90. He has agility, 92. You know, he got juking and all that. He played every position a football player could possibly play on offense except the offensive line and the tight end position, right? So we know he's athletic and can do all those things. You know that. That's the easy part of building him. You already know that because he's built that way already. You got to Kyler Murray him. You got to sensei him. Sit his ass in that pocket and run your offense through the way you ran it with Dan Marino. That doesn't mean you can't roll out right, roll out left. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying just run your offense. Here's why. By the time you get to fucking week 9 or week 10, he will master what you're trying to do, and you will be comfortable with him and what he can do. And the moment that happens, you're going to better do some things, and then the second part of your game starts to take off, and you already know what that is. That's why you drafted him. That's why you put him on the field. early, because you know the advantage you get when niggas already can't get to your quarterback as is because of the way you throw the football, the way your plays is set up, the way you design your offense. Imagine, you know, taking that look instead of going read 1, 2, 3, and sometimes 4. When I play you, I watch you go from read 1 to 4 at times. Instead of going to read 1 to 4, maybe you could stop at 2 and pew. Oh Lord, he's up the sideline while you was trying to cover his receivers. That type of situation. So I like Derek King, man. I like everything he's doing right now. What I'm gonna say when I talk about young Camden and these Dolphins, be patient. I'm not worried at all. I don't think nothing is in his way of still being who he is in this league with that quarterback. So we like that. You know what he did last year? He went and got the Jackson State running back. This kid is the starter. But he got a still sitting on his roster right now. I don't know if he drafted this guy or he got him out of free agency. But Isaiah Pacheco comes from University of Rutgers, another New Jersey native, right? And this kid had a great 40. And he ran a great 40, so he already got the bump up to a 95-95. Now, you literally can get Nuna East the fuck up out of here and deal with Moss and Pacheco in your backfield and do some really good things there. I know, Hitter, you here not to just get fined and shit. God damn it. Hitter is not to get fined.
Tell Hitter to check his DM, bro. About this. Yeah, here we go.
Did the Vikings pop up yet watching this video? Because he trying to get low right now. He ain't even responding to his upgrade he supposed to be getting. He getting low because he don't want to give up that fucking player. He got to come up off of that. Once a trade go to the rule chat, you cannot renege, niggers. All right, so now you get a guy that's pretty much a walk-on. If you really think about it in college, you didn't get this guy a scholarship. All right, you picked him up out of free agency, and you said, you know, come over here and run some punch and kicks back for me, and then you didn't realize, wait, this guy that fast? Hold up, Mike got something here. So I like that. They get a free agency guy that they're going to end up signing at the end of the year, in my opinion. And if you're looking for a running back still, you're a guy that need a number 2 or you're a guy that need a number 1. Nuna East is still sitting here on the first one free X Factor, waiting to go start for somebody else. He already pissed that he lost his starting job. He just waiting for somebody else to say, all right, I see you. I mean, you know, come get him. You know what I'm saying? And you don't really got to go ham to come get him. I don't think I would be asking for nothing spectacular for the 27-year-old running back. Plus, it's hard to trade running back, so you're looking at a third. Come get him. A third is like a motherfucking second in this league. Come get him. Simple as that, right? All right, cool. We go. Jeff Fitzsimmons, you know, they one of the teams that drafted one of the dog fullbacks a couple drafts ago. It was 3 of them. He got one of them. So they loaded there. Now, you get to the receiver position. Everybody's still available for this team. Jalen Waddle's still here at 28. He's the veteran in the room. So is Johnny Manning. He's the veteran in the room. But Forbes, Favors, Huffman, and Pettis are all still here. And what I like about this is you don't see no new receivers over here. So now you're getting the gel process going on with your receiver core. And the fact that they're there and you're not really adding nothing new to it, you give Derek King an opportunity to play with guys that have already been in his situations already. So they're going to start to play a little better for him and help him play better because you got a steady group of receivers. So I like the receiver room over here. You get back to the tight ends. They do have a really good tight end in Gregory Lloyd. At one point, they was calling him the best tight end in the league. I think that was self-proclaimed. Definitely don't think he is the best tight end in the league, but he is dynamic for this team. They use their tight ends very well, period. So they, you know, their tight end is solid. Let's look and see what they got going on the line. You know, everybody's still here from before. I don't know if they picked up any rookies, so we're going to slide through and see if they grabbed the rookie this draft. So far, no. But as you can see, Justin Schaefer, Georgia, 6'5", 345 pounds, solid. Let's see, did they get a win here right now? Because if he's a superstar, they got to win. Simple as that. That's a win on the offensive line for them. Star. It's all good, though. Still a good player. 87 overall right now. He a rookie. Pretty solid, right? They don't need him to be a superstar yet, but they got to get this situation figured out. They might got 2 superstars somewhere else, and Jeremiah Carter from Florida State is a dog. Their offensive line is a great offensive line, so you got a strong offensive line. They've been playing together for a few years. They're gelled already, so that helps the quarterback and his growth as well. Now on the defensive side of things, D-line, let's go with you know, Nick Nasty is a big time name in our league right now. He's been playing at a high level since they started him. Jalen Phillips is still here. What happened to Jalen Phillips, man? Did he underachieve his entire career right now as a 29-year-old? I don't know. I didn't really see his name pop that much. Randy Sapp's there. They picked up DeMarvin Leal. That's how you say his name, right? Really good D tackle. He's one of the top D tackles in this draft. I think this is a good pickup to help out with Randy Sapp. They got deeper on that D line. At the linebacker level, here we go. I don't know if he's the starter, so before I say anything about him, I'll continue to go down. I like their two middle linebackers. They get away with the linebacker core. This is not a fast linebacker core. I mean, it's 10 to 15 teams in the league with faster linebackers right now. But they're serviceable, and this team, to me, has never really had a superstar studded linebacker group. I think he had serviceable linebackers because he plays so well with those safeties. That, you know, it really doesn't matter about the linebacker play. He doesn't need 95 speed linebackers running around because he makes up so much with his safety play. And now that he got some sub linebacker safety type prototype players, he's going to even be better there. So I'm not worried about the linebacker core, although I don't think that, you know, it's strength here at this linebacker core. I think he got a lot of linebackers, but you need to grab some speed and some better players. I think if I'm the Dolphins, this will be my next investment, next draft, or even the off season, or during the regular season. We're looking to go get some linebackers that guys don't want that you could trade for. At the secondary level, the fact that they got Cody Chemistry from the Steelers didn't re-sign this guy, and they got themselves a dog corner. But he's 28. You know, we get up there in age. Bernard's still there. You got Jelani Glenn, another 27-year-old kid, was drafted by this team. You keep looking down. They go get Damari Mathis, who ran a hell of a 40. I think he ran like a 4.4 or a 4.3, some shit like that. I gotta figure it out. I did upgrade him already because he went up 4 points. He was a 90 speed, so he went up 4 points already. So that tells me he ran a 4.3. I mean a 4.4. Probably a 4.39, somewhere around there. 4.48, 4.47, somewhere around there. That's the only reason why he's not past that 94. Alright, I don't know if he drafted him either. This might have been a pickup from out of free agency. These are guys that just saw these guys sitting in free agency and they snatched them up. So they're roster fillers right now, right? And then you ask yourself, is any of these guys worthy enough for us to keep and try to sign? So they're loaded there, and if you know, obviously they got 13 corners over here, and you really only could play 4 of them. So we'll see how that works. Where they did get better at is they just stack players, right? This is not drafted. This is free agency players. Right, I don't think they drafted these guys. I think they went and got them out of free agency. They did what Falk did, man. And Falk kind of won because a couple of guys he got out of free agency had great 40s and they went up. So we checked all these safeties. None of them really went up over here though. But you got some guys you can work along with. So now what you got to do is think about it. 28-year-old, 29-year-old, right? Now you're looking at a guy you drafted who you thought could play sub linebacker, but he's 6'4", 202. You got a replacement for one of these two guys, and then you got other guys that you could bring in. I would think you'll spend more time worrying about him than anything, but that 69 man ain't cutting it. So these are project guys right now, but they can still get away with it because Javon Holland is still on his roster, just like Terrell Williams is still on his roster. But their draft pick was Bubba Bolden. This was a big time pickup, big time still. 6'3", 216 pounds. All right, he went up in speed too. He was from a 90 speed, went to a 93. So that's a big move right there. Red Arrows are right now down on him, but this is the guy that he finally gets that guy he can pick at the sub linebacker. So again, you know what he do with safeties. Now he got a guy he can bring down in that box, and it's a big situation. I don't not like what he did. I think he did a pretty good job off-season wise. I think he cleaned up after the draft. With some players that he could develop. He could put on his roster and see if they develop, or even look to trade. Guys need players, so you can see what happens over there. Other than that, I like what he did. Everything starts and ends with the quarterback, though. Like, the quarterback probably is the most famous pick that he had because he comes in right away to take over for a guy that possibly was a Hall of Famer, right? So the Dolphins, good job what y'all did, and let's see this thing turn it around right now. 0-3 start. I think you just got to keep working through what you got going on right now. I'm not mad at it at all. Now let's look at the Philadelphia Eagles. All right. Anytime you start a young quarterback, the next thing you want to do is put weapons and protection around them. I think Philly already invested in their offensive line a few years ago before they even thought about Darren Thomas Jr. They already invested in their line. That was something they already been out there and did. So because that, they just need to get weapons. And sometimes you can get a whole lot of weapons. And getting those whole lot of weapons, you have to make a whole lot of decisions on what weapons you're going to keep, what weapons is going to see the field, who gels together the best. who doesn't belong out there, who needs to be redshirted, who needs to play right now. You know, all those questions arrive when you start stacking players at positions. The one good thing about stacking players at positions is you can shuffle through and figure it out. All right, but you better have a really good coaching staff to better process between those players to figure out what players is going to stick around and what players you're going to get rid of. That matters. So we shall see when we look through this Eagles roster and what they got going on. All right, but I'm going to talk about this quarterback for a second before I do anything. And I'm stalling while I go get me some ice. All right, so listen, let's talk about Darren Thomas right now. Rob, has he been more than what you expected him to be?
Yeah, he's better than what I expected him to be, honestly.
Getting a guy like that.
So fast. Yeah.
Getting a guy like that. I mean, you are a Baltimore Ravens fan. You play in most of the other leagues you're in. You got the Ravens, right? And your style of play is, you know, having that fast quarterback. So you finally got that quarterback. Why did that change your offense? Because it's not like you're out here running him all crazy, but the way you play with this team and the way you go through your offense, it seemed like you got more explosive in throwing the football.
It's like it's a comfort almost, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just know where I thrive and who I know my system. Like everybody say, you know, you see guys come here like this ain't my team, like and they come and take a team over, even though that team's built to drive and shit. It's not that guy's style of team, so he necessarily might not play or gel right with that team.
Right.
Per se. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of those situations like I know what I needed to feel comfortable. You know, you got all these high-flying D tackles and D ends coming around. I just like to be able to have the ability to get out the pocket or move around a little bit more and, you know, a little bit more flexibility.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So.
But do you feel like he's in front of his timestamp? Like, you know, sometimes you give a guy a year or two. Seemed like he did everything in the short season, starting last year.
Yeah, he's way ahead of his time. So the minute he unlocked and stuff, I was able to see his potential.
Like what?
The numbers he put up.
Hold on for a second, man. Here she go, her shit. Let me get this lady taken care of. Rob, hold me down for 2 minutes.
For sure, for sure. Let's see where he's at.
Open that for me, please. I got this, please.
Rob, look.
Open that for me, please. Open that for me, please.
But yeah, saying like the process is just crazy. Like he's already miles ahead of where he was at. Like he put numbers up last year, but this year it's like it's a whole different dynamic. He's making better throws, tighter pockets. So just stick with your quarterback, man. He'll be straight.
That's the one you play.
Rob.
That's the one you play. That's the one. Are you opening it for me? I thought you said no. Said no.
I don't know why he told me to hold him down. My kid's loud as hell.
No already yet. Not why you said no already yet.
Here, bro.
Thank you.
Beat it. Beat it.
I didn't know he was coming out.
He'll get it, bro. No worries, man. Like Darren, they had that zip for like the first 6 games, man. I was always complaining and shit like that. He really didn't get the zip until I played the Bills. That was probably like week 7 or 8. Like it's a different story when they unlock and they, you know, they get a little bit more experience and they get more adapt to your system. Like that stuff really matters. Like it's the throws you make in practice. Like spend a lot of time in practice with them, learn his form, and sometimes you could like change his throw formation. Like that helps too. But
that's what I was saying, though. You said by week 8 you started to feel the difference?
Yeah, definitely by week 8. Like the hoodie game, like he was making more precise throws. He wasn't overthrowing people. Stuff wasn't selling. It just started to gel at that point, and that's where we really took off. Like, so yeah, just stick with it, man. In due time,
so
man.
That's where if you look at De'Aaron King, that's probably where I would say for the Dolphins to start paying attention to him for real, like around that area, week 8, week 9, somewhere around there, where you get the real feel.
Right.
who he really going to be. And the good thing is you still got Dan Marino on your roster, so you can save your season no matter what. You say, yeah, bro. King don't have that zip yet. He'll have it though. It'll get there.
Yeah. That's another thing I'll say, man. Like, you gotta be willing to sacrifice your season too, bro. Like, I know, like, I hate tanking. I hate using the word tank, and they'll tell you like, I was damn near borderline tank last season. I made the playoffs. I pulled it out somehow, but I was prepared to throw the whole season. Like, you gotta let that guy play, man. You gotta go through the good and the bad, man. You can't, like, just because you got Marino on your roster, you know what I'm saying, you can't do that, man. Because I did that with Joker, and even though he developed, I still really didn't get to see what Joker was.
Right. Which made you not fall in love with him, which made you have no problem with trading that motherfucker fast as hell or drafting another quarterback. So my thing is, what you did though, you heard the word tank, you heard and all that, and I don't think you played the game to lose. What you did was you put it in your mind, if I'm losing, oh well, I'm going to develop this quarterback. And I think because, you had that mindset, you still got yourself in the playoffs because you wasn't playing with a tanker's mind. Like, you wasn't there, lose your first 2-3 games and then start sending tank emojis out. And you ready to shut it the fuck down, that shit, right? You didn't do that. You ain't shut it down. You played to whatever happened, but you wasn't disappointed when if it did result into a loss, which ended up being better for you, making you a playoff team.
Exactly. You know what, man? Also, that took a lot of pressure off me too. Like, you don't understand how much pressure you put on yourself in this league. Everybody's competitive. Everybody want to win, and everybody wants to make the off. So, like, you find yourself overthinking certain scenarios. Like, when I was playing last season, I didn't think about that. Like, I just went out there and balled. Like, I played my game, like, coached my game, played it, and whatever happened, and good things came from that. Like, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. Like, you just never know.
See, your quarterback came in at 94, so he see 96, but that's training him all year. The moment you keep doing scrambling, you got chances to get speed upgrades too, right? His is a 92, so if you got to put yourself in this boat, you're going to get enough upgrades with him because you're planning. And in those upgrades, you should be expecting at least a speed bump up, a seller. Like, you might get a speed bump up in the seller. You got 18 games to put yourself on pace to get 2 speed up, 2 speed up, and a 2 excel up. It can happen. Trust what I'm saying. And now you come back into the season with a 94 speed quarterback, 94 excel the following year, and he's still not going to be asking for too many XP points to upgrade. So you're in a good situation right there, man. So they got a tweener. I'm going to be putting out a list of all the players that we call tweeners in the league that defy our rules, that you can play at multiple positions and not have to worry about the rules, right? Ace of Spade is one of those guys. He's a receiver. So if Rob wanted to, he can move him to receiver. He could change his position to receiver, or he could just play him at receiver and slot. He could do whatever. He could play both positions no matter what's his speed. So in our rule, because he's faster than a 94, he got to be a 93 speed or under to be able to get moved to receiver. And once he gets moved from receiver to running back, he has to stay there the entire year. Well, with this kid, it doesn't. He defies the rules, so he can go back and forth from receiver to running back, even if he changes his position to receiver. One game you might want him to play receiver for the whole game and get him in sub situations where he can go to the 1 or 2 receiver instead of running back and only can play slot or outside at the 5 when he go 5 wide and things like that. He could do that and then change him back at the end of the game, whatever. Like, he can move him around and do some things, right? So that's a good piece to have, because now you got a weapon that you can mismatch with guys, right? I think Jonathan Taylor is 29 years old. In my opinion, I know he's on abilities and all that, but I don't think they're completely sold on him anymore. They showed you they moving on, right? They got a Marcus Woodson who they wasn't really comfortable with because they were trying to trade him. So they go out and they draft Zamir White, one of the better running backs in the draft. Simple as that. They get themselves a dog, a guy running pretty good 40 and then packaged up. This kid is a monster, Zamir White. He's one of the top 3 running backs, top 4 running backs in the draft. So they got themselves a dog. In my opinion, he's the new starter over here. And you play him right away. You don't even give him time to develop outside of plan. He got to develop in the middle of the game on the field. 94 truck, 94 break tackle, 94 stiff arm. I mean, he's a monster. So you got your new #1 running back right now. And this is something different because they got a bunch of running backs in the backfield. But I think they need to lean on this guy right here, man. They got to do everything in their power to allow this guy to become something special. Now, the one thing you have to do is you're not going to be able to keep him on freight train whatsoever. Actually, yes, you can. He got 86 power, 86 speed. All right, you're good. He can stay. He can be on that freight train right now because it has to be tied or higher. But the moment elusive go over him, you got to pay attention to that, Rob. 215. See that? You got to pay attention to that. He got to be able. So keep building them elusive and power together because as long as they stay even, he can stay on freight train.
Okay.
I'm glad I saw that because I wanted to give an example of guys that got backs that's under 220 pounds and they want to put the freight train on them. This is the only way you can. They gotta have the same thing. Power gotta be the same as elusive, or power gotta be the same as your highest archetype. And as long as it's equal with it, you're fine. The moment elusive goes over power, he has to change that. So that's something that I will pay attention to all year. But he's in a comfortable situation because they 86 elusive, 86 power back. So all he got to do is keep his next upgrade, put it on power. Elusive gonna go up by itself anyway, so he just keep putting it on power. Power goes up, elusive goes up. They stay the same. And he stays in that same area. So that's good because you got a guy with 94 brake tackle, 94 trucking, who's under the 220-pound mark, but can run with that freight train on him. You saw what happened with Ronald Jones being under 220 and having that freight train on him all year because he got it on him early. He was able to keep it on him. And you saw what happened. He had the most brake tackles every year in the league. So that's big. Let me ask you, since I got you on headset, is Zamir White a 20-carry guy for you, or not ready for him to do that type of shit yet?
He really is. I just haven't done it yet, but he's a home run hitter for sure. 20 yards plus on any given carry, easy. Man. He had a 40 or 50 yarder today against the Lions.
Okay.
1 yard, man. So he's a walking touchdown for real. So I'm still adjusting, learning to run and stuff like that. But the minute I get this guy going, it's a problem.
Yeah, you got yourself a good. It was a few good, more than a few. This running back group was great, and it's not just a great running back group in real life. They're pretty solid running backs. There's a lot of good running backs in this draft in real life, right? But in Madden, a lot of these running backs are Madden players. So you get one of these running backs, you got one of these running backs, you are in a good situation. Like the Dolphins running back we just showed you earlier, he's gonna better do some things with that guy. All right, so Dorian Parker is 27, Devontae Smith is 29. They go get Justin Jefferson. This was a last year move, right?
No, this is a free agency move.
So really?
Really?
Okay. Justin Jefferson's 29. All right. So you picked him up last year or this year?
No, free agency.
Free agency this year?
Yeah, he's just sitting there.
All right, so Justin Jefferson gets picked up this year in free agency. I'm not mad at this move. You're gonna see a guy sitting there that's not 30 years old yet, just to keep his abilities. So you pick up a guy that I think you said you would use him as more of a red zone threat.
Yeah, red zone threat. He's also the 50-50 guy, man. Like if I need a good big play, he's basically taking a Hopkins role. Like he'll go up and get it. Like
right.
So, yeah.
All right, so then you look at their future, right? I mean, Dorian Parker is their best receiver. He's 27. He's not too old to be their best receiver for a couple more years, right? But you still have Schwartz, who's 24. They go get Sampson out of free agency. They pick up Jaleel Foster, who's right now doing special team duties. And then they got rookie Charleston Rambo, who they can either redshirt play however they want to do it. They are loaded at the receiver position. And again, this is a situation where they got to look at, what they have over here and start to evaluate what they want to go forward with, right? And then they have to evaluate what they want to play with this year. So you got two things to do when you got these many players over here on your team at a position. You want to evaluate who's playing right now that's going to take you to the promised land, and then who's going with you in the future. And they have a whole shitload of them that they can choose from. So I like the receiving room over here as well. Debo Sharp has stepped up to a grown man. Debo's coming. Simple as that. They got DJ Flannery, who I know for a fact is on the block. Guy needs a tight end. They can come get a guy like 6'6", 245-pound superstar from out of Florida who's only 5 years in at 26 years old with 91 catch. And then if you look at the special catch, 93. And he got 89 speed, 92 excel. So this is a good tight end to come get. That could be somebody's starter. Or if you run two tight end sets, you can come get yourself a number 2. I think they're loaded with tight ends. They still got Njoku. They pay him some money. They cut that money down. They're able to keep him where he's at. He can always be the veteran to help these guys grow. So good shit right there. When you look at the line, you know, Nelson Stevenson, you got Luke Randolph, 2 superstars at left tackle. They're young enough to play for a long time. Alex Loomis, to me, will be developing eventually into their best lineman, in my opinion. You got John Oakley, who's a steady center. They got them a couple years ago, and he was the #1 center in that draft. Solid player right there. So as you can see, this line been together for a while. They did pick up a rookie in Zion Johnson. Is he a superstar?
You did say he was a superstar.
Superstar, yep. So they got superstar linemen, and then they got superstars everywhere that they can play on the line, and they've been gelling together. A lot of these guys been playing together for a while, so they're in a good situation offensively. I like what they're doing over there. Defensively, they got a win with Cameron Thomas. I like him. You know what I'm saying? Nick Parker probably never see the field. He's more of a practice squad red shirt type of guy. Just red shirt him for a couple more seasons, see what happens. Larry Terry went from linebacker to outside linebacker to defensive end. I love it because this team is more based off of 4-3 defense than anything else, so they don't need those 3-4 outside linebackers. They need guys with 95 block shed. You don't need him on the outside linebacker because you're not in 3-4 fronts. You're in 4-3 fronts. So therefore, this is a solid situation. Eric Webb has developed into a monster in his 4th year. Jamal Gilmore is a good backup to be sitting over on your roster. The D tackle, they got themselves stronger because they moved Brandon Clinton to the D tackle. All right, and then Jordan Davis, man, this is everybody. If you paid attention to the combine, you saw he had one of the best combines out there. He's a monster, bro. All he did was improve on his numbers everywhere. He ran a 4.7. I got him bumped up to 85. His acceleration was a 1.59 on a split, bro. At 350 pounds, you understand that? And he dropped weight just for the combine, so his plant weight really is around 360. That's why you see him at 360. They got a dog, man, 2 dogs, and they bring their best defensive end and move him down because he got good strength and he's good size, 6'6", 305. Move him down, so they got 2 studs at the D tackle position right now, with some guys on the edge that's serviceable and can get the job done. At the linebacker level, you look at these guys. You got a superstar here, but Dalton Meadows has the higher overall. I'm not concerned with them because again they run a 4-3. So here's where you're gonna see their linebacker play at. Bang bang, right? These 2 guys, and then you're gonna look at Durant over here, and that's their 3 linebackers that they're gonna play. And with that, they got guys that can cover and run around. So this Eagles team is getting better, man. When we used a couple seasons ago, we said they had a development issue. Right now, it's not looking like that anymore. So you got Carlton Davis, who's the veteran over here, who playing slot. Lowry's on the block. Matter of fact, he was already traded to the Vikings. So he's gone, so let's not count on it. They got Caleb Daniels at 6'3". Suave's still around. I don't know how much they invested in him, but Kobe Bryant is here, and Dante Butler. They got size to be able to match up with those guys over there in the Washington and the Giants and the Cowboys offenses, where they got them trees at receiver. They good there, man. So at receiver, safety, they got Jalen Johnson. He been kind of floating around, and he's still so young. Well, he's still young enough to keep his ability, so it doesn't really matter how he play. Now, Jamal Adams dropped from an X Factor to a superstar, but he still played well enough to be a superstar. Brian Dawkins Jr. is here, 92 speed, 92 excel. Then you look at their 2 strong safeties, they're good. They drafted a rookie who's going to develop with good speed, and then Von Savage, right? They put their +2/+2 on this kid, got him flying now, and Von Savage is Von Savage. So in my opinion, I like what the Eagles did. I got a mom issue right now. She's up and about, and she, with her Alzheimer's, so she's all over the place. So I got to get to her right now. So I'm gonna stop at the Eagles team. We're gonna get back to this in a little bit. If the Steelers,
I'm gonna go watch Julian Sport.
Alright, so let me get down there before I have an issue. So fellas, appreciate y'all. Sorry the show was so short. Family is in this situation right now. I gotta take care of mom's, man. She's sick, she got a disease, man. And it's very hard. But other than that, we're out of here.